Hey guys, welcome to my fabulous world. Another day, another opportunity to connect with you. Beautiful. So, today I want to talk about opportunity. And I'm talking about opportunity because there's so many opportunities around for young people, and many of them are not taken up. And I just think maybe it's how we see opportunity, and maybe we want to design the opportunities that we want. But before I go on, let me remind you to subscribe. Click notifications so that you know when we have a new episode, like, and remember as I go along, as you're listening, you're welcome to write your comments or even questions. I try to read all the questions and respond to them, and I read all the comments. Thank you for the feedback. It's often good, and we've taken most of it. So, opportunity. Here's the thing about opportunity. Opportunity is never designed by the person who's going to benefit from it. So when you look at an opportunity, actually an opportunity can be anything that comes your way. Sometimes you get an opportunity, you're doing a PhD and there's a fellowship being advertised that you can go and spend a month in another university. You didn't design that, and therefore there might be, you decide you want this opportunity or not. Okay, you can see it as an opportunity, or you can see it as a detraction. I don't want this, going to disturb me. But you can see it as an opportunity, as in, I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to that university, and I will learn more than they gave me. You may be sitting at home and looking for a job. Maybe you have a degree and there's a learnership advertised or an internship advertised, and you can see it's not going to pay enough. It's not, it's going to pay you maybe 10,000, and when you have an honors degree, and or maybe even a master's, and you're thinking this is not good enough, and you don't have a job. If you see it as an opportunity, it will change what it is. So I would say I would look at that learnership and say, what am I going to do? Do I have the skills? Will I learn something from there? I would write down the things that I would learn. And let's say it's a research NGO, right? Maybe it's a research NGO. You can join and say, okay, we're going to do economic research, going to work with government, we're going to do research for people. Maybe I'll do the work I can do, these analysis that I'm talking about I can do. But maybe I can also learn how to write proposals. Maybe I can also learn where these people get to know about this work that they're doing. Maybe I'll also learn the kind of funders that fund this work. Maybe I will strengthen my writing because there'll be a lot of writing that I need to do. Of course, all of that. 10,000 rands might not be enough for a pay. And then you go to that and say, will the 10,000 rands cover me for transport and food going up and down for this job? If it does, I would take it. I would take that opportunity rather than sitting at home and waiting for a job. I would take that opportunity and say, I'm going to go there to learn new things whilst I'm waiting for a job. Okay, whilst you're there, you still look for the kind of job that you want. You might be surprised because that might just be what you like. Okay, so think about an opportunity open-minded. What some people see as an opportunity, others do not see as an opportunity, so they squander it. And I want to tell you a story. When I was doing my PhD, there was an advert published by the National Research Foundation, a call for interest for students who are doing PhDs, South African students who are doing PhDs in South Africa, and they want to spend some time overseas. And at that time, I was busy with data analysis. I was having such big problems. I wanted to use discourse analysis to analyze mathematical interaction. And discourse analysis is something that happens in linguistics. And there's different areas of linguistics, and I wanted to use it for mathematical interaction, something that hasn't been done. And so I was struggling. I was reading work on linguistics, that some of it made sense, some of it didn't make sense. In my proposal, when I wrote my proposal, I hadn't bumped into discourse analysis. And so I had written that I was going to use these theories, whatever, And I at that time I didn't know how I was going to use them, but I thought when I get the data, I'll be able to use those stories. Now I had the data that those stories don't work. I've got to find something else, new tools, new theoretical tools. And I thought discourse analysis is the way to go. And I happened to be reading, as I read discourse analysis, I happened to buy a book. I used to buy a lot of books on Amazon, sometimes secondhand, sometimes new. And the book written by James Paul Gee, Introduction to something like discourse analysis method and something. And I bought it. I bought this Introduction to Discourse Analysis and I read it. He writes so well. I loved the book. So I applied for this opportunity that was published by the National Research Foundation to go to the US to spend time, anything up to 3 months, working on your PhD with whoever you want. At the universities, they gave us the list of universities which you can choose from. Obviously, those are the universities that they had agreements with because they were going to take care of us. We're getting a monthly stipend, office, and basically they're our hosts and you go to whatever department. So when I had to choose an institution, I'm reading that book, remember, that's written by James Paul Gee. I see that James Paul Gee is at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the Midwest in the US. I see that University of Wisconsin-Madison is on the list. I chose it. I said I will go to this university. I knew nothing about the university. And remember, on the list, there were some snazzy universities. University of Michigan was on the list. I can't remember, I think Howard was on the list. Like Michigan was overcrowded because Michigan is the place to be, Pearl Harbor, and here I am. I chose Wisconsin-Madison. We went, I got the fellowship. We went as a group. I remember I can't remember whether we were the first group, but we traveled together, we get there, and then we separate, everyone goes to their city. And I went to Wisconsin-Madison, and I went there because I was reading this book on discourse analysis and I wanted to meet this guy. And I wrote to him before I left and I said, they gave me, because I found the email, I said to him, I'm coming to the US, to Wisconsin-Madison, and I would like to meet with you. He didn't respond. So when I got there, the first thing I asked is, James Paul Gee, does he have a class? PhD students there can attend master's classes, but PhD students also have seminars every week. So we had to attend a seminar class, but I wanted James Paul Gee class. And I heard that it's happening the following day. And I went. I had read that book. It made sense. But again, I still didn't know how to use the tools. I got to the class. I told myself, this is an opportunity. I only have 3 months, or did I have 1 month? I think 1 month. The first time I went, I had 1 month. And I thought, I've got to get everything I need from this guy. I went to class. I sat there. I sat in front. They had been, these master students and some PhD students in class had been attending lectures, and I hadn't been. And here I am, a new person with beaded hairstyle. I sit right in front. And I felt I can sit right in front because I read his work. I may be able to answer any question that he asked. And I said there, wow, what a brilliant teacher he is. He got on and he taught, and occasionally he would ask a question and I would throw. Because in the US culture is very different from the UK culture. People can talk and whatever. And I went. I wanted him to notice that I'm there. And I wanted him to notice that I know his work. At least I have read his work because I had finished this book. My book had stickers, yellow stickers, highlights everywhere. I had written all over it. The stickers are still in the book right now, right? At the end of the lecture, he was the first to come to me. Hello, who are you? I said, I'm Mamokgethi. Where do you come from? South Africa. What are you doing here? And I said, I'm here for this fellowship. And I said, I wrote to you 3 days ago. and I asked for a meeting. He said, "Oh, really? So you're a PhD student?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yes, I'm a PhD." He said, "This is my office number. Come and see me tomorrow. We can talk." Wow, I got to weigh in, right? Weigh in. And then other students, of course, came to ask me, "Are you a professor?" Because I was responding to questions, whatever. I'm like, "No, I'm a PhD student like you." But that was not the only, I got an opportunity because I took a chance, right? But that was not the only thing I did on that opportunity. I told myself, I have only 1 month here. When I leave here, I've got to have touched base. I attended the PhD seminars, the seminars that PhD students were attending. I went, and in the seminars, there was one professor who was running that, and PhD students present their work and so on and so forth. And there I am. I think there were 2 of us who were not from the university, coming from other universities. And the other guy came from UWC and me from VETS. And the rest, I think it was a class of 15 or 20, were local students. And they asked who's going to present the next week. And someone said, "Let's give the visitors a chance." And these guys I said, "I'll do it." I said, "I'll do it." I raised my hand. That time it was 2001. It was 2001. I don't think I knew how to do a PowerPoint presentation. That's when I learned to do a PowerPoint presentation. To do the PowerPoint myself, not ask anybody. I prepared and I went to present. And I told myself, I've got to do this. I was scared, of course. It's the first time here. I haven't seen anyone. Now that I'm proposing myself, but I did that. But that's what you do with an opportunity. I thought, I'm going to do this. I want them to remember that I was here. Why? I only had that opportunity for 1 year. Remember, I needed to go back home to my family, to my job. And here I was only for my studies. I made sure that I cover ground. When there's a presentation in the department, I was in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. And I attended seminars, I asked questions, I sat in front because I thought, I've got an opportunity. This is the US. I've got an opportunity. 1 year here, and I want them to remember that I was here. And so what I'm saying to you, if you get an opportunity, whether as an intern, whether as a learnership, whether as a job, don't worry about how much they're paying you. Do your best so that they remember you were there, okay? So that they remember that you were there. Even if you're not happy about the money, just grab the opportunity, make the most of it. If you are in a university, here's my advice. Check your postgraduate studies page online. See what opportunities are there. Check the notice board. See what opportunities are there. Apply. You have nothing to lose. The worst that can happen is that you will get a no, and that's okay. You learn from it. You know what you should do, and next time you might get a yes. So opportunity comes in different shapes. Even when you go through a hard time, right? Things don't work like you thought. Things are tough. Look at that and say, what can I do from this? Not just what can you learn. What can I do from this, right? How can I use this to benefit me? Rather than sitting and crying and complaining about what happened, look at the situation as an opportunity. Everything that happens to you is an opportunity. Use it to move yourself forward. Otherwise, an opportunity is nothing without your energy, your vision, and whatever you want to use it for. It sits there. And here's the thing. When we went to Wisconsin Medicine that year, 2001, there were other people who went with us. And I remember that sometime in 2012, 2013, somebody who had been in that group with us to go to the US, who also had won this fellowship, she was doing a PhD, she got her PhD, she was from University of KwaZulu-Natal. and she was working with me at Tunisia. She came, she asked to see me. We set up an appointment, and she came to my office. At that time, I was Vice Principal for Research and Innovation, or Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation. So she came. When she walked into my office, I said, let's sit down. I'm so happy to see her, because we've been meeting on corridors, just saying hi, but we've never really had time to meet. As we sat, tears started rolling from her eyes. And I said, wow, what's going on? She said, Kgethi, I cannot believe what you did with that opportunity that both you and I got. I got the same opportunity as you, but you seem to have done more with it than I have. And she was right. I did more with it, because 2001 I was there. The end of 2002, after I got a PhD, the fellowship was still there. I applied again, I got again. So now I went as a PhD student, PhD graduate and academic. At that time, those people I was in the same PhD class with had completed, they are working, they were inviting me to their universities to make presentations. I mean, how is that? How is that? Suddenly, I'm getting invitations, and some of them were paying me, right? I was on a J1 visa in the US. So she said to me, I cannot believe what you did with the opportunity. And I said, but you also used it. You got a PhD. She said, Kgethi, a PhD is all I got. You got more. Look at you. Look at you. And so, two people can have the same opportunity, but they use that opportunity differently, and therefore they'll get different results. My advice to you today is milk the opportunity that you have. Get all you can from it. Never complain when you get an opportunity. Some people get an opportunity and then they say, no, but it should have been like this, or it should have been like that, because if it's like this, I can't do that, or this, or the other. No opportunity comes in the way that you want. Look at it, make the most of it. Don't sit there and criticize the opportunity. Make use of it. Otherwise, it stops being an opportunity. I hope you learned much, and I hope you grab all the opportunities that come to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember to be authentic. Even as you grab opportunities, grab them in your own way and do whatever you want with them. Because it is only when you are yourself that you can do you. So go ahead, do you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.